Even in severe cases, remdesivir has not been found to be of much use.
Hello all. Today we have Dr. Richa and Dr. Rahul to talk around COVID-19. So over to you, Dr. Richa. Please share with us your knowledge about COVID-19.
Thank you, Jivisha, for having this wonderful discussion. If in plain language, if you ask me, the progeny, they multiply, and the progeny virus is little different from the parent virus. So our immune system, which has identified the parent virus and has developed a certain mechanism to combat it, it fails to recognize the new variant. Nowadays, the government has decided to take all those positive samples and send it for the full genetic sequencing to the authorized lab. But what we don't know, whether these cause milder or severe disease as compared to which the variants which were there prevalent in the first wave, whether these viral tests that we have, RT-PCR, will be able to detect these new variants. What if the variant is smart enough not to be caught by the RT-PCR that we already have? It has been hardly 1 year and some few months. We are not that smart enough to just have all the results in a quick moment of time. So yes, we need to stay alert, we need to stay safe, and prevention is better than cure.
So how effective is the vaccine? Because people are very skeptical about it. And since you got vaccinated, got both the doses, and still you got positive, right? So what's your thought on it?
The role of vaccination, we should understand, it just boosts the immunity. It prepares your body to fight the infection when the infection will come at a larger dose, and your body will be instantly or suddenly it will be exposed to such large dose. I also got vaccinated, yet I got the infection. First of all, this pseudo feeling of getting protected by vaccination, that once we get vaccinated, we don't need to be that vigilant about grasping the infection. So we drop the idea of double mask, we drop the idea of N95. Somewhere I did it too. And yes, when the infection hits you, there is a huge difference, because how the body would have tackled it in case it wouldn't have got the time to prepare. It has been seen that it is having a devastating effect on the lung, and as compared to the people who have got vaccines. So there is a huge difference, and it boosts, settles you down. It may take time. Some are taking a week, the vaccinated people. Some are taking 2 weeks, 20 days to heal from the infection. But there is a huge difference.
Actually, vaccination has been developed according to the strains which are available in October, November. And as we have discussed already, that the strains keep on changing. So how effective will be vaccine with these new strains is will be a test of time. And as far as it is concerned, whether vaccine is 100% protective or not, it cannot be judged with contention that every vaccinated person is protected against coronavirus. So the most important thing is that you have to continue to take all the precautions despite being vaccinated, because even vaccinated people are being infected. And one of the most important factors is mutation in that case. The other thing is efficacy of the vaccine, which has been tested robustly, but not as good as it should have been in case of other vaccines which are already prevailing to prevent other infections. And I will emphasize that each and every one of us should get vaccinated to the so that at least it will give a protection against the primary infection, and the body will learn to fight the virus once it gets infected by the original infectant. So I will suggest that each and every one who is above 18 years of age should get vaccinated as soon as possible.
The next question which we have for now is the whole fiasco going around remdesivir medicine and plasma.
Look, I would like to first explain how this virus actually infects patients and how this actually grows into the body. The first thing is that incubation period, which lasts for around 2 to 10 days, which is highly variable, but usually it is 2 to 5 days when the virus starts replicating in the throat and then it migrates to the lungs or even the GI tract where it grows in numbers. And once the number outgrows the immune system, the symptoms appear, and that is the symptomatic phase, which lasts for around another 5 to 7 days, in which the virus starts replicating. So, usually, the antivirals work in this symptomatic phase. The most important antiviral which has been implicated nowadays for to act against this virus is remdesivir. However, there have been various studies which have been conducted all through the globe, and they found that remdesivir does work to some extent in reducing hospital stay in moderate disease. It doesn't have much effect or doesn't have much use in mild disease, which can be easily treated at home. And remdesivir is a drug which is given intravenously, so it cannot be administered at home. So it is mostly for moderate disease, which requires hospitalization for a few days. Even in severe cases, remdesivir has not been found to be of much use in reducing the requirement of ventilatory support, in reducing the hospital stay, in reducing the mortality to a significant level. So overall, remdesivir has lost its importance over the course of time, but still it is useful in moderate diseases as per some studies. The other modality of treatment, which is considered to be very important as per the general public, is plasma transfusion. Plasma transfusion from a patient who has recovered from COVID and has good antibody production was thought to invoke improvement in the patients who were suffering from moderate to severe disease. But again, according to various studies which have been conducted, including randomized controlled trials, it has been shown that plasma with high antibody content may be helpful in first 3 to 5 days of infection or appearance of symptoms, not after second week of the disease. In fact, after 7 to 10 days of the disease, which is usually the case when we start administering plasma. So overall, plasma is also not thought to be of much use in preventing the severity of the disease, in reducing the hospital stay of the disease, or in reducing the mortality of the disease. At present, the most important factor which is actually helping to prevent mortality or to decrease the severity is the judicious use of prednisolone or steroid, either be dexamethasone or methylprednisolone, which should always be administered under the guidance of a experienced physician who is treating COVID very often. Apart from that, for mild to moderate disease, there are various home remedies which have been advised. Home treatment pamphlets have been distributed by the government, and they should be followed religiously. And one more very important aspects of these treatments, which everyone should follow at home, are prone positioning. That is, you should lie on your back or on your sides at least 10 to 12 hours a day, regular breathing exercise, taking a lot of vitamin C in the form of lemons, oranges, even vitamin C tablets, and the medications which have been described in the form of doxycycline and ivermectin recently, and apart from that, zinc, multivitamin, and calcium.
One thing I would want to emphasize is like the prone positioning. It has been seen that people are doing the prone position at home unsupervised, and they are not doing it in a correct manner. Like they are lying on their stomach, but the people who are obese, they are pushing the stomach, like the weight of the body is felt through the stomach on the platform that they lie down, and the breathing which has to get eased in this prone position gets hampered. So proning of the body has to be done according to the guidelines.
You require 5 pillows. The stomach has to lie, unsupported, as explained by Dr. Richa. And one more important thing is that adequate hydration should be maintained for all these patients, because deep vein thrombosis is a common factor, or microthrombi are common factors which are affecting the lung as well as the peripheral vascular structure, peripheral vasculature. So adequate hydration and judicious use of anticoagulants have also been advised to be useful in these patients with treating COVID patients with moderate to severe disease.
A physician or consultant, whosoever, any medical person that people are in contact with, they should be consulted over the phone, and any query should be asked very frankly. Nothing should be conducted by their own self.